Much love and many blessings. We're moving on to the fiery water sign of Scorpio, ruled by two planets, Pluto and Mars. One of the dark feminine energy signs of the zodiac. Very deep, very passionate. I will say that Scorpio, like a lot of the other water signs during this season, especially since 2021 has kicked off, has felt like carrying a large bucket of water. It's not necessarily that there's stagnation. To non-water signs, water signs might be coming off as seemingly stagnant, or seeming as if they're dragging their feet. But really, there's a lot of contemplation, a lot of weight and caution going on. There's been a lot of that taking place really since this month has taken place. And the Aquarius season has really been illuminating the waters, heating up the waters that you've been in, especially for our Scorpio, and really just shedding light on some of the polarities that you've been experiencing. And kind of to delve into that, to coincide with that, is the Kali message of Guya Kali, which is more of her dark tantric priestess form, and the Lovers, which is a major arcana, very significant for this time, especially since we're speaking about the intensity of our love walk and passions. If the Chariot is the warrior's journey or the declaration, no holds bar, then the Lovers is the parallel of the love journey. So it's the surrender, but it's also Lovers is speaking to the mirroring of the polarities, such as, male and female, or the polar opposite. So especially with this month and how the Aquarius season is shedding light and illuminating for you within your heart sectors, there's a polarity that's being illuminated during this time, and the things that you thought that you were not able to get or to achieve due to weights of emotional obligations and just unresolved familial tensions and just deep personal concerns that were putting a lot of heart strains and heart traumas on you this past year, because all of really just even this beginning month is just the seeding of the reminders and the drop-offs of the weights that you had from last year. As you've been moving into this year, you've been kind of taking your time, because you're like, whoa, like this is the anniversary of all the decorations that I made last year, and I remember things being a little bit different than they were right now. So what are the answers that I'm seeking? What is it that I really want for myself right now? So like I said, as Scorpios, and the Kali message that we pull is Guya Kali. She is our divine mother who knows all. With every answer and every mystery within her is her power to disclose and provide the knowledge at the right time and in the best way. Our answers that we seek shall be provided. Do not immediately dismiss intuitions that are unexpected or lead you to unknown territory. Rest and reflect upon your insights, allowing your wisdom rather than a reaction to distill your usefulness and value. An entirely new perspective about a matter of importance is awakening. A secret shall be revealed, and all you need to know will be given to you. I think this is a very important confirmation as well, because too quickly sometimes, especially for Scorpios, we have a tendency to feel there's this layer, almost like this autonomous subconscious defense mechanism over our hearts that protects us, or from the outsider, people who are non-Scorpios treat as being cold. And it sometimes happens autonomously or unconsciously as a defensive mechanism to protect our emotional sectors and to protect our emotional heart, and to protect the desires of that which we truly want to put ourselves toward. So that defensive mechanism sometimes can operate so well or too well. Sometimes it operates so well that we're not even aware of it, or the Scorpio in question is not even aware that this is taking place. And the reason that can work against you is because sometimes there's certain emotions that you need to feel. Your emotional heart is your compass, is your feeling compass to your subconscious heart, which is always speaking to the polarity or the wisdoms at which you're trying to find the answers to. There's a wisdom that you gain from personal experience, but there's also a mirror. There's an experience that you gain from looking at the mirror of the thing that you have not yet experienced. That's why the hands are not touching, because there's a mirror in which there's a polar opposite to that which you are either embodying or seeking to embody within yourself. For a long time, there's been an aspect of yourself that you've been wanting to become, whether it's a millionaire, whether it's to really get your business off the ground, whether it's to really step into that relationship that you've always desired, to fill that void of loneliness within yourself and to be respected. And you're meeting people, and there's people coming up, especially during this retrograding season, people coming up that may put you on alert, that make you feel like, whoa, like who the fuck is this? But the spirit and the universe is presenting these mirrors to you so you can actually see that you've been waiting on this thing for so long, this aspect of yourself that you want to embody, but it's presenting these people to you so that you can see the mirror of that which it is that you want the answers to and that which you want to embody. Guya Kali means secret Kali. She is the dark tantric counterpart of the bright goddess Lalita Trapuya Sundari. She has the same triune nature, but does not dwell in the light and is not accessible to anyone who simply calls upon her as a loving mother. She is so powerful and so potentially disturbing in her fierce liberation that she is shrouded in mystery, unknowable to any except those who are able to tolerate her revelations. The Tantras teach us that to connect with her requires initiation and guidance of a teacher. What does this mean? There are some insights we must be readied for. Even though they are ultimately helpful, we are unable to accept some truths without the experience that prepare us to understand and even embrace what we would like to experience or find the answers to. It can take time to become ready to deal with the pain that arises and to recognize uncomfortable truths, even though it is a good kind of pain that frees you and will eventually end rather than keep you trapped in a loop of repetitive suffering. So this is a particularly specific message to Scorpios, especially since I was just talking about the compression collapse and your emotional defense mechanism to cut off feelings before you have a chance to discern. Remember, our feelings within our body is our body's way of communicating, the subconscious communicating what it is that we're feeling. But when we're so quick to snuff out an emotion, to feel cold at all times, then sometimes useful information and the mysteries that we seek in the unknown areas, and the emotional state is a very unknown area for you, Scorpio. You operate and understand and observe emotions from an autonomous place, more so from like an accountant, a spiritual accountant who weighs things on a scale, more so than necessarily wants to experience these emotions. You'll experience the good emotions like an opium, but when it comes to hurt and dread and traumas, the moment that touches the scale, you take it off. The moment an uncomfortable feeling touches the scale, you take it off. But sometimes you might need to weigh it just so you can understand the sensation that's taking place. Understand it from a neurological standpoint that the difference, the line between pleasure and pain is very thin and is actually arguably mental. It's psychosomatic. So if you've already established within your mind that one thing is pain or something is a pleasure, then those things are going to be those things because you've already imprinted that on yourself. There's things within your emotional centers that when there's sensations that come across you that you tell yourself that if I experience this or if I touch this, this is hot. I was pricked by a needle once, and I know that now anytime I get pricked by a needle, it's going to hurt, so now I have a fear of needles. Even though that might have happened when I was a child. And now that I'm an adult, I might have tougher skin, but I haven't re-experienced being pricked by a needle, so I just go with the last sensation that I've imprinted on myself, which is from the perception of my child mind or my immature mind that needles hurt like fuck. You know? So in much the same way, the Guya Kali is asking you to open up to the secrets and the parts of yourself that mirror, or that could be a mirror to you, that could reveal that knowledge and those lessons. What pains, what experiences, what emotions, what feelings, what sensations are taking place within your body. If you were to take your divine breath, would it really be a trauma? Would it really be the worst thing taking place? Or is it something for you to experience so you can discern your emotional compass and to know if you're hot or cold towards what it is that you wish and truly seek? Another really important thing to note, like I said, Kali is the nurturing mother, but this particular state has also emphasized that you can't get to her just simply by needing her help. There's a preparedness that you have to step into. There's an initial requirement. It means that this answer can't be given to you. So that means that the emotions, there is a certain amount of the feeling that you have to feel. There's a certain amount of the sensation or that you have to be prepared or go through in order to be able to understand what's going on. Guya Kali is letting you know that simply the wanting will only be the equivalent of reading the books on all the monks and reading the books on how to be an enlightened one. Guya Kali requires a mental preparedness, meaning that there's still a initiation, there's an actual experience that has to take place. There's an initial requirement of information and acceptance that has to take place. This same acceptance may even resonate within your crown chakra, or if you've been having difficulties with an overactive throat chakra, it can mean that you're forcing a situation to be held to a certain standard and you're not willing to open or surrender to the information or the sensations that are required for you to receive that which you want. As you take your divine breath, bring awareness, Scorpio, to your own personal spaces in which you've been feeling emotionally erratic or been feeling like you wanted to get light, and feel a pause. When you felt these emotional pauses, have they felt uncomfortable? Bring awareness within your spirit as to why these things may feel uncomfortable. Is the sensation within your mind, or is this uncomfortable sensation trying to lead you to something else, towards the mirror of which you are truly desiring? Much love and many blessings, and Ashe. Let this message resonate with you, and meditate on this and how it's shaping and unfolding within your space as this Aquarius season unfolds and we move through this Mercury retrograde. Think back to your full moon Leo intentions if you worked on them, or simply just where your motivations were when the full moon arrives, and bring awareness to the fact that you want to center your emotional state and realize that the things that are coming up now is because the universe is trying to pull out this higher vibrational energy to manifest the desires that mirror your own true authentic needs and wants. Don't you want that in your life? Ashe.